It's a highly contested election, and right now, I personally think it's at a crossroads because we are right now facing the highest unemployment rate here in the country. The economy is not in the best shape. We are forcing a combative administration federally.
That's right.
And so, like, you know, where do you? It's tough as a DC resident. It's scary for us. Like, what can I'm trying to think, like, what do you to say to like the small business owners that are like worried right now? Like about the future of the DC economy. Is there any type of reassurance or plan that you have to help small businesses here in the DC area?
Oh yeah. So I think I tell people all the time, listen, we're gonna have to work with the administration. No matter if you're the mayor of DC or not, you have to work with this administration. And I say, but I also think that we have tools in our toolbox to do that, right? I'm looking forward to working with Attorney General Brian Schwab to use every legal tool we have to fight back for our administration, for this community, because it's important. And every time we've actually used our legal tools, we've been really effective. Like when they tried to federalize our police department, I was one of the only council members who showed up with Eleanor Holmes Norton, with Attorney General Brian Schwab. We fought back and we were able to actually stop our police department from being federalized. We're going to have to build relationships in Congress. Because we know that we need to build relationships in Congress, because that's what's the only thing really protecting us is that we don't have 8 Democrats right now in the Senate who will vote with Republicans. But that could change. So we got to build our relationships. When we met with Hakeem Jeffries, he even told us, like, y'all need to be in Congress actually talking. And the number one thing I've heard when I've been walking the halls of Congress is like, this is the first time we're hearing from DC leadership. That can't be the case. So I'm talking about a mayoral office that has an executive office of the mayor that is going to be building relationships with Congress, and I'm going to walk the halls myself to make the case for DC residents. But I also want DC residents to understand that, yes, we have been hit by the federal government. Yes, but we also have our strengths that we get to lean in on this moment. And I think we have some great strengths as a city. I believe that, one, we are a town with universities, as you know. We have some of the top universities in the country right here in DC, HU. And we get to use our universities to create innovation districts, to bring research and jobs into the city, and to leverage them to help us solve the problems we face in the city. Like University of Chicago has a data crime lab that helps Chicago MPD and public safety figure out how they do stuff, right? Like, so we know universities are the #1 job creators in the city. We want to leverage that. We want to leverage our hospitals. Like Children's is like one of the best hospitals for research in the country. We want to use them to bring more research and innovation, more jobs, more people into the city. We are a sports town. Like, nobody wants to talk about it, but like everyone talks about sports and us being a sports town. I agree we are. I think we're a women's sports town though, and I think we don't get enough credit for it. Like the Mystics, we had some great draft picks, as you know. I think our Mystics we're on the up and up. Spirit, as you know, is killing it. Trinity, Robin, we have so many great players. Like, we should be playing up that we are a women's sports town. People have been talking about having like a women's hockey team, like our women football, flag football. Like, we're killing it. Let's lean in. We're a city of creatives, right? Like, you know, like, we have the best comedians coming out of this city now, including you. But truthfully, we've always been like Red Grid, Dave Chappelle, Regina Hall, Taraji B. Henson. Like, what? What are y'all talking about? DC has always been a town of creatives, music, arts, culture, like theater, comedy. Like, lean in. Like, people, too many other jurisdictions get credit for what we created. So for me, I want people to know we have a plan for our economy. We're going to do a business economic development corporation that's going to have bonding and financing power to rebuild our downtown. We're going to lean in our strengths, and we're going to make it easier for small businesses. As you know, our businesses, it takes 2 years sometimes to get permits. Like, I got Mary Penn on Georgia Avenue up there. Been fighting with our DDOT administration just so they could have outdoor seating. Adito's Coffee on Second and Kennedy. Like, been fighting to get an outdoor patio. We got businesses like Latte Hana losing business because they got rid of streeteries, right? So for me, I want businesses to know, I want you to be here. I want to make it easier for you to be here. I want to get rid of all 5, 6, 7 agencies you got to deal with and have a one-stop shop for you. I want to reduce the amount of time, energy, re-permit fees, re-permitting that you have to do every year. like make it easier for our small businesses. I want to make safer corridors so people want to come to your businesses, because like public safety is an issue that impacts businesses. And I want to make sure that the city's investing in businesses being able to afford rents in our city, because that's one of the issues why we lose people, and just invest in our main streets, our bids, and the organizations, and do more things like we just had the other day. Petworth Porchfest was about supporting artists and supporting small businesses. How many people we had over here? Thousands of people came here.
Talk about Porchfest. I think Porchfest is something that a lot of people outside the city might not know about. That's like really like popping right now. So can you talk about like what is Porchfest? What's your role in Porchfest, and how did it come about, and how big it's gotten in the past few years?
Yeah. So again, this happened during the pandemic. Many of our creatives like weren't getting booked because the venues were all closed. And as you know, because like people were applying for unemployment, but when you're a gig worker, your unemployment differs, so you don't really get a large amount for unemployment.
Right.
So creatives were not able to, rent out art galleries. All of these things were happening, and people were in their houses like suffering, right? Like, because people were just like, we're in the middle of a pandemic. So a few people, our Petworth Main Street, Uptown Main Street, like everybody came together and was like, what can we do? We were like, why don't we just have people on their porches, right? So we're gonna invite bands to come out, do shows. Like we're gonna invite artists to have like live art happening on the streets. And we're gonna encourage community members to come out to have their porches open freely so people can do it. We're gonna get people out of their homes, but like outside in a safe space. And we're going to allow people to like donate to our artists and our creatives who are, giving of their time and energy to like display their art for the rest of us to see. So it really was, and we wanted community to come together in some real joy, because it was like a real down moment for us. So Petworth Porchfest was really born out of the idea that we got to support our small businesses, we got to support our creatives, and that the safest communities are the communities that come together and actually convene with one another. So what started as a way to like support artists and businesses during the pandemic has now grown into, we have like over 450 bands and like
so much fun.
300 porches.
Yeah.
And now, it's an opportunity again for bands to be, and musicians to actually share their art. We had like over 30 different genres of music. So like there was a space for everybody.
Yep.
And like that's what Petworth Porchfest is about, bringing community together, supporting our small businesses, supporting our artists. And like everyone got to thrive. And like that's what the city can do more of across the city. Like we can cultivate the opportunities for small businesses and our creative community to actually thrive and have the funding they need. And like that's the stuff I'm excited to do. That's what we know works. Like Adams Morgan, like you remember growing up going down Adams Morgan, like, just when we make the spaces, the people will come.